psychologically think of what like fame and money and power like does to you. Like it's freaking like Jared Leto and yeah, Diddy. Like,
oh man, so well, the Diddy thing, you guys. So the Cassie lawsuit happened, and then within one day they settled that lawsuit. One day after this hit, but then since then there have been two more lawsuits that have popped up, and I feel like this is going to be an avalanche at this point.
Yep.
But also, fuck him. Like if he did this behavior, if this has all been an open secret, like that's wild.
He did that shit. Also, oh my God, like. The Cassie lawsuit was insane. Apparently, he may have paid her. I don't know where I saw this.
$30 million, allegedly.
Yeah, people were throwing around the number $30 million. And apparently, he blew up Kid Cudi's car.
Oh my God, that was the thing. So Kid Cudi in the papers, Cassie in the lawsuit says he had hooked up, she had hooked up or had a flirtation with Kid Cudi. He was jealous about it and told her he was going to blow up Kid Cudi's car. And then later, Kid Cudi's car did blow up in his driveway. And Kid Cudi, when this lawsuit happened that Friday, Kid Cudi said, I confirm all of these details. My car did blow up in my driveway. Like that is a crazy coincidence.
That's a crazy freaking thing to do. Like who does
about having that much power that you feel like you can get away with blowing up somebody's car? Like how scary, especially dude. Your best friend at the time, Notorious B.I.G., died in an assassination. Like, and you still act like that. And then he like tries to be like, oh, I'm all about love. I'm Diddy. I'm the love Diddy. Like, what are you talking about, dude?
I'm the love Diddy. Yeah, fuck that.
Dude, if I was Ben Affleck, I would be scared shitless because he always like had like that like, you know, J-Lo fixation as well.
Oh my God. Oh.
Ben Affleck, do not smoke in your car anymore. Do not smoke in your car, Ben Affleck, anymore.
I feel like he needs to beef up his security if he hasn't already.
Wait, did you see Ben Affleck in those paparazzi photos?
Wait, what about
smokes menthols? He smokes menthol Marlboros.
Yes.
Menthol.
Yes, but also the video, I don't know how old it is, but I saw someone post it the other day where he's like getting J-Lo in the front seat, and then he shuts the door and he just like slams it and like looks so dejected and tired of living. Oh my God.
I think, well, you know what? You know how like certain dogs, you look at them and they just always have that sad look because that's how they are. I think Ben Affleck just is born with that sad look. I think he might be happier than we think he is.
Yeah. I mean, he's married to J-Lo and living in a $50 million. I think they just bought a new house.
They've always been like they've always fall out of escrow so much.
Houses. It's like save some for the rest of us.
Somebody, I made an Instagram post about because it's like he picked J-Lo up from working out, and I said, "Is there anything this man can't do?" And somebody pointed out to me that J-Lo doesn't know how to drive. Like she literally doesn't know how to drive.
Wait, and like that actually tracks because she's from New York, and she also. Yeah, it's like, I mean, if you're just going to get driven around, she had her big break when she was relatively young.
And I respect that because you're never going to get a DUI out of J-Lo. J-Lo will never get a DUI.
You know what? That's, if you don't need to get a driver. My driver's license has been expired for a few years and I get away with it because I'm a cute girl. So I know what it's like, J-Lo.
You know what it's like to be John Mayer, I guess.
I don't.
The other thing, though, about the J-Lo, I always see, have you seen like the last couple of paparazzi shots? They're always at McDonald's.
Oh.
Like they're always picking up McDonald's. And I have this theory that Ben Affleck is trying to slowly destroy her health because she's such a health nut. And I feel like he's turning her on to like bad vices like McDonald's, like the rest of us have.
That's so interesting. I wonder if he's like newly discovered McDonald's coffee because they do have good coffee, like potentially better than Dunkin'.
But I think he's like, yeah, fucking try a Big Mac, J-Lo. You earned it. Yeah, like, and eventually, eat it. Get a second one. It's the dollar menu. You're fine. I don't know. So happy Thanksgiving to Ben and J-Lo. Well, speaking of DUI, Tiffany Haddish, the comedian, got a DUI on Thanksgiving night. She was in Beverly Hills. She was slumped over, sleeping in her car in the middle of a lane in Beverly Hills.
Oh God! Oh my God!
This is her second DUI in the last couple of years.
Take her license away. First of all, that just inexcusable. Second of all, I saw the headline of her getting a DUI, but I didn't see the details. If you're passed out in the middle of the lane, Like, it's not like you were like,
5:30 in the morning.
One is better than the other, but if you're like swerving a little bit, you were fully passed out. Like, how fucked up were you? Like,
well, that's another big thing I always don't understand about celebrities or any of us. There's Uber and Lyft. They've made it so easy to not drive. They've made it so easy.
Uber, I would even like, I'm not defending anyone who drunk drove before Uber, obviously. It used to be so much harder to like call a cab, especially if you're in suburbia or like a remote area that doesn't have a lot of cabs. I could see why that's a tough predicament, not defending it. But there's literally no excuse. Now that Uber
I mean, listen.
Especially if you live in a big city like LA or New York or, where you can get an Uber in 2 seconds.
But get your drink on. Do it. Drink. Like, also, I want you to get your drink on.
Also, if you're a celebrity, there's no excuse. You can afford it. You can afford a personal driver. Like, there's no excuse, especially if you're a celebrity. Like,
so that's it. So bad it's good. Sophie and Ryan are down on drunk driving.
That's our official statement on
down
drunk driving.
Tiffany, call me. Sometimes I'm in Los Angeles. I could pick you up. It's not a biggie.
Drunk driving is out for 2024.
Yes, 2024 predictions. Drunk driving, not good.
Also, like, as if we needed one more reason to, think that Tiffany Haddish is a despicable person after her whole like scandal last year. Like, and that was a scandal where she did a skit with, who was the other comedian that did it with her?
Oh, are you talking about the underage thing?
Yeah, well, they had a skit about pedophilia. It was like, it was sick. It was
and
disgusting.
Somebody sued her. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just disgusting. And she's just gross.
We're really going there today. Okay. Let's move back to Bravo, where things are a little bit lighter. What did you think about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City this week? Huh? I've got the bonnet on right now. Pioneer Days. What did you think of this episode?
Where did you get that bonnet? Like, on demand?
Okay, let me tell you this. Because Heather Gay in the episode says, oh, I used to be Mormon. I know where to get all this stuff. Guess what? So does Ryan Bailey. You just fucking hop on Amazon. It's $13. I drunkenly bought this Thanksgiving night after I did not drive. And I was like tipsy in my bed, as I do. And like, just kind of.
Will you tie it again? Tie it again, please.
Yeah. I was tipsy in bed and I was like, I need one of these bonnets. This could be perfect for my reality show museum that I want to make. And first thing you type in Amazon, like Pioneer hat, and this is $14. This was a bargain. You look like
Angie K right now. You look like Angie K.
Oh, I look Greek? Do I look Greek? I should have like huge sunglasses.
I also, can we like all apologize to Angie K? Because she is a fantastic housewife.
No, calm down.
I think that she is a fantastic housewife.
She's fine. Okay, I will say the one moment I loved with Angie K this episode that I don't feel has gotten enough attention was that her and her husband had a fight over the Humpty Dance song.
Yeah.
She was like, you listen to country and I don't like it. He's like, I've always liked country. You listen to the Humpty Dance. And she's like, I do like the Humpty Dance. It makes me feel young. And I was like, the Humpty Dance is a chance to do the hump. That cracked me up.
I know. I love her. Like, I love her. And I love that she was like, I respect a housewife always. You will always get points for me when you are vulnerable about your marriage not being perfect. So
but I do want, okay, but Sophie, what is the reality? Like, do you really think if their marriage wasn't, like, if your marriage isn't perfect, why would you ever agree to go on a reality show? I feel like sometimes they hype that up for the camera.
I mean, for so many reasons.
But if he's there on the mean streets of Salt Lake City.
Look at Dr. Wendy and her 4 businesses that she has attempted to kickstart since she joined Potomac. You get exposure, you get followers, you get money. Like, I can see it. And I will always respect a housewife who is, I mean, but then again, like, shut up, Whitney and Justin. I don't care about your marriage. Like, it depends on the housewife.
Well, see, I don't believe they're having marriage issues at all, but I do think, what do you think about Seth and Meredith Marks' podcast? They do a podcast like we do. Hey, I'm Seth Marks. We're hanging by a thread. We've got Justin and Whitney. I want to see your boobs, Whitney. Like, what do you think about their podcast? I went and looked at it. Like, the first episode was 17 minutes long, and this last episode with Whitney and Justin just got released this week. It's 35 minutes long. Like, what the fuck could they I mean, like,
they don't even have like a real like setup. They're like at their dining room table and put up some like posters. Like, it's just, come on. And Seth, did you see, by the way, that I polled people I think last week about
I didn't know
who they would rather take home from the club between John Barlow and Seth Marks. And it really was like John Barlow, I think, won by a small margin. I
feel like John would run away with it.
That's what I thought too. I was shocked by how many people are like team Seth. That's like disgusting.
Why do you think they're team Seth?
I thought Seth was hot until he opened his mouth. And then it's been like, get away from me ever. Like, he is like so cringy. What's up, guys? Welcome to our podcast. We're recording. He opens the door with his like recording headphones on.
There's rumors out there like early John Mayer. He was picking people out of BravoCon to fist. Well, Seth seems like that guy that if he like took you back and he wouldn't have sex with you, he would want to make love to you. He would be like, I want to make sure you are pleased, me lady. Like, he would really.
What I said, because some people said, I think I had one reply on Twitter that said the opposite. They were like,
Seth was a greedy lover.
They were like, John Barlow would like make love to you, which I'm like, okay, like fair. I guess he's like a Mormon, like this, like, you know, very religious Mormon. Seth would fuck you.
No, I see.
Notice how I like my voice. I thought his parents are 10 feet away. But like, I think it's the opposite. I think Seth would get like super attached. He's like one of those guys that gets super attached and like not stop texting you and like ask, what are we?
Yeah. Are we exclusive? What's going on? Are you ghosting me? I do think it's weird though that Seth, like, I want to know like the reality show. I love Salt Lake City as a reality show, but now I kind of want to know the real deal. Like, I want them to wear GoPros that they don't know that are on. Like, cause I want to know the real conversations, like what their lives must really be like. Like, how often do they even hang out? Like, they even say it's hard for them to get together to do a 17-minute podcast. Like, I want to know everybody's real situation, like the real shit.
Right. Salt Lake City, honestly, is like the best Housewives on right now, in my opinion. I'm not watching Miami, but
Miami's so good. I mean, like, I will say Salt Lake's my favorite. Miami's great.
Everyone said Miami is really good right now. I think Potomac has been a little bit slow.
Potomac's fun, but it's like, it doesn't have the main driving storyline yet that like fascinates me.
What even is the storyline this season? Like, there's a little bit of the Juan stuff.
You got Candace on tour. She's doing great. Blah, blah, blah. Giselle's with Jason. Juan and Robin. But also Robin, the Juan and Robin storyline could be fascinating, but Robin, pretty much her whole thing is, I don't care. I give up. I don't care.
Exactly. It's like, well, if Robin's not going to show anything, like,
each one of those ladies makes me laugh, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a good season. But it's so early in the season still.
It's Dr. Wendy trying to start a talk show. Like, they're not super compelling storylines. So hopefully,
but we can't give up on it. We can't give up on Potomac yet. It's only 4 episodes in.
I'm not going to give up on it. Again, I chose Winter House over Beverly Hills when I was like deciding which Wednesday show to watch.
Wow.
Which is not a good sign. So Beverly Hills.
So what shows are you watching? Name them.
But there was no new Southern Charm because of Thanksgiving, correct?
Yeah, no new Southern Charm. So we were
Southern Charm, I think, has been amazing this season.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those that keeps on giving, and it really shows the frailty of man, and and how, I don't know. I'm really curious to see, like, will Southern Charm ever end? Like, imagine the final episode of Southern Charm. Like, will Shep be in his 60s? Like, where does Southern Charm end? Like, will the end be Craig and Paige's wedding?
I wonder the same thing about Summer House, because I feel like Kyle is starting to age out of it, not because he's like too old, but I feel like he's just not, he's kind of past his prime in terms of like being a reality TV show cast member. So like Summer House also, like, I don't think Summer House has a chance without Kyle and Amanda. I don't know.
Kyle does his best work by himself, just like Mary Cosby. Like, my favorite Kyle scenes are by himself, wasted in the kitchen, and there's only so many things. Yeah. Mary Cosby does great work by herself as well. Like, but you're right. Like, Amanda seems like she likes being a part of reality television, but she doesn't like actually going to do it. Like, it's got to be tiring at a certain point, you know?
Right. So I wonder that a lot. I'm like, at what point, like, I think Vanderpump has done a good job of, and I mean, there is Vanderpump where they have, you know, reality TV show members that are in their 40s, but they have managed to stay extremely chaotic and extremely locked into the chaos. Like, I feel like Kyle and Amanda are getting more settled down, and I don't know.
Think about it. The success of a show depends on your personal detriment. Like, their relationship would have to fall apart.
Exactly. I feel like as long as Shep and Austin are like middle-aged degenerates, like, we still have a show. We're still in business. I don't know though.
Did you see that?
I love JT. Mommy.
JT's going to come on the pod after they film the reunion, and I'm really excited because he's an interesting character.
That is a hard get, like Whitney and Justin. Great job.
I was sitting down and I said, we got to get JT on the pod. We got to get him on. It'll be great. Okay, a couple things as we start winding down here. Snoop Dogg, how dare you, you MFer. You use your pothead status to say I quit smoke, and then it was just a fucking advertisement for like a smokeless little, like a, what was it, like a smokeless heater or some bullshit? Like, you traded in your reputation?
I think a lot of people called that. It was like...
No, a lot of people did, but like, I mean, half of us were kind of like, well, not half, like 10% of us were like, oh, good for you, Snoop. What a great, like, there's always edibles. That's good. Save your voice. And then it's just like, how much? What?
Sorry. Finish your thought.
No, that's it. That was it.
Thank you. I'm so annoying. I'm so sorry. I hate myself when I interrupt people. I'm so sorry.
God, I interrupt the whole time.
I think it is a really smart marketing tactic when you have a celebrity just make a vague statement like that everyone's like, what does it all mean? And then it's like, oh, this was just an ad. Like, it works every time. Like, I can't think of another example off the top of my head, but I know there are more. And like, you know what, marketing execs, you did it. You did it,
but like, at what cost though? Like, how much did it cost to sell out Snoop? Was it $5 million? Was it $4 million? Like, how much did they pay him to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. I do want to mention, and I know you're not watching this season of the Kardashians, but this past week's episode, North, it was all about the Met Gala, preparing Kim for the Met Gala. North comes in, little 9-year-old North, and reads Kim for filth and says her pearl look. It is one of the weirdest / funniest / scariest things I've seen, because then they set up the camera just on North and Kim's like designer friend. And then North like kind of like Don Rickles everybody at the Met and says, Pete, what are you dressing for, a gas station? North, like, and at first I thought it was funny. And then I'm now changed. And I thought, like, Kim, this is really kind of fucked of Kim to put her 9-year-old out there, because it is funny, but at the same time, it puts her out there in a really negative light in the end, because it's this little 9-year-old spoiled brat that is talking trash that my mom would like fucking like ground me for a year if I had said this. And Kim is like, put the camera on her, let her go. And at first it's funny, but if you think about it, I imagine a lot of moms out there would not do this.
They're trying to make her personality.
They did it. It's done. Like, it's done.
It's working. It's working. But she is, the next
Joan Rivers
of paychecks for Chris. And it's working. They're turning her into a Gen Z icon. I don't freaking know. I saw the discourse about that online, and everyone was like, she's just like her dad. Which, by the way, did you see that Kanye?
That's not a compliment.
I know it's not a compliment. Did you see that Kanye and Chris Brown?
We're in Dubai together, and Kanye has a new song coming out.
Jews, like, I'm anti-Semitic. I just fucked a Jewish bitch, or like something.
How can I be anti-Semitic? I just fucked a Jewish bitch. And it's like, what happened to Kanye? What happened to religious Kanye? First off, what happened to secular music Kanye? But regardless, it's trash. It's not worth your time. Fuck him.
Not even worth talking about. Irrelevant.
It isn't worth
loser.
It. Thank God. Okay.
Anyways.
Okay, we're like in the last 5 minutes here. So yeah, fuck Kanye. Sorry, I really dislike, and it sounds like he's still saying like insane batshit stuff. So have fun with that. But like the Northwest stuff, I just like, what if North grows up ugly? Like, we're gonna like, you're just leaving yourself open for other people to make fun of you in a negative way and how you look.
Right.
Am I wrong about that, or am I thinking about this in the wrong way?
Like, no, you're right about what is the purpose of putting your child, your 9-10-year-old child, out there in a way that could leave her open to criticism forever. There's no purpose. Like, there's literally they have so much power in hiding what they want to hide and not showing what they don't want to show. It's clearly purposeful that they're putting North out like this. And I think the only purpose is to, turn her into a new Kardashian personality, a new Kardashian moneymaker, which is, they're in the business of doing that. I mean,
and of course a 9-year-old wants to be famous. So if they ask, don't be like, well, she wants to be. Shit, I wanted to be a space hero when I was 9 years old. Are you kidding me? I wanted to be able to fly. Like, that doesn't mean it should happen. Of course, North is going to want to take after her mom and her dad. I just think but then I was reading this quote because the Beyonce movie comes out next week. And I was reading this interview with Beyonce, and she was talking about her daughter, Blue Ivy. And Blue Ivy came on to do a dance at the Renaissance concert in the beginning. And she didn't like nail all the things. And I guess Blue Ivy read the criticism. And instead of like having that like detract her, it made her work extra hard, and she got really good. And I was like, that's an interesting way to look at fame and actually to step to a challenge. But in North's case, I know it's probably not fair to compare two kids, but like this Blue Ivy went and worked her ass off. So by the end of the tour, she was killing it if you watch the video. But like, what is North doing? Just like ranking on other celebrities and what they wear? It's really funny. But like, start a podcast like we did.
Right. Sort of podcast like a normal person. That made me really respect Blue Ivy, honestly. She has my respect. I know she's only 11 years old, but she's got my full respect. And also, like, there's nothing Gen Z and the younger generations hate more in general than like a Nepo kid. If you like are putting in work, at least I feel like with like Blue Ivy, like, great. I feel like it's only a matter of time until the younger generations are like deriding North for being a Nepo baby. So it's like, is it worth putting your child out here like this? And I don't know.
I wonder where it all leads, because Kim Kardashian had just got announced today. She is going to be doing this movie, The Third Wheel, that Netflix just bought by Paula Pell, who was a great writer on SNL, but it's a comedy, and Kim Kardashian got it sold. So she's continuing on with the acting. The Kim train is like off to the races. By the way, I do recommend a 3-part docuseries on Peacock called House of Kardashians. I watched that. I thought there was some good information in there. It's not produced by the Kardashians. Caitlyn is a part of it, and it's very interesting. You know, a lot of this stuff already. No, it's on Peacock.
Oh, okay. There you go. If it was
House
on
of
Hulu,
Kardashians.
like, bullshit.
No, but House of Kardashians on Peacock, and they got Caitlyn. I'll be in it. They won't let me on their show, baby. Yeah. But it's wild because it talks about the the Ray J video and the selling of the Ray J video and like kind of these steps that got them to where they are today. And it really is a fascinating story if you kind of pull out and look at it, the macrocosm of it. It's really, really wild. So I recommend that. It's not perfect, but it's really entertaining to watch. And then finally today, this is a really sad story just about how fucked up we are right now in terms of relationships breaking up. Hall & Oates, this is probably a story for your parents, Sophie. Hall & Oates, the 70s band, they have like a string of hits that I love, like Man Eater, Sarah Smile, Rich Girl. Fucking Hall took a restraining order out against Oates. Oates is the guy with the mustache. So Hall & Oates have now broken up and they are suing each other. And Hall & Oates, and then Hall took out a restraining order against Oates. And like I said, they can't get it because they are like suing each other over rights to certain songs and like artistic license. And this is the saddest story I read on Thanksgiving ever.
Oh my God, Hall versus Oates? Like
yes, not Hall and Oates, Hall versus Oates. You're right, Sophie.
Hall versus Oates. Like what?
The people versus Hall versus Oates.
What is the lawsuit about?
Okay, so I think really it's like Daryl Hall, I think, is the musical genius behind Hall & Oates. And I think Hall has thought it was his creativity that has kind of pushed Hall & Oates into what they are. And I think Oates, unfortunately, kind of like gets up there with a guitar and does a little do. But Hall is pulling the weight in that band and has been, I guess. And I think it just got to that breaking point. And Daryl Hall has said a lot of weird things about John Oates over the years because I went back and looked. So I think it's like suing over certain rights to songs and certain like pay structure and royalties. But it's just sad because it's like, guys, you know, like what are you going to just go see John Oates? Like I would like Daryl, like I want to see Hall and Oates. I don't care.
What is Oates without the Hall and Hall without the Oates?
I mean, Daryl Hall does have a beautiful voice by himself, but like I need them together. I don't even care if they like each other. I want them to. I want everybody to stay together. Unless you're Kyle and Mauricio.
My parents are going to be devastated when I share the news.
Yeah, please tell that with your parents. By the way, they're like, we heard the fisting and we heard Hall and Oates. Both like, very scary.
Everything. We heard everything. We're sitting right here.
You're not allowed to talk to that man any longer. That is this is a respectable family, the Rosses.
You're not allowed to talk to that older man you met on the internet anymore.
You're like, fudge college, Mom.
Fudge
shout out to Sophie, this went so fast. What's coming up this week? What do we need to know? Is there anything you want to recommend? What's going on?
I'm flying back to New York tomorrow. So I'm going to be back in the city, back to Baxter, the puppy. And yeah, that's about it. I'm going on vacation in a few weeks.
Where are you going?
For like Christmas and New Year's, I'm going to Turks and Caicos. I've never been, so I'm excited for that.
Oh, Turks and Caicos. So sexy.
Yeah, I don't know. We need to look at a calendar and figure that out.
Yeah. I'm not worried about that, but like, are we thinking? I mean, I don't want to. Is this like a big vacation?
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
I see where you're getting at.
Like, did anybody have a conversation with your dad? Like, do you know what
I don't. You know what's funny is that I was like, was my boyfriend asking for permission this week? And my parents were like, no, like, shut up. Like, stop asking.
But your parents would lie to you.
I was like, tell me the truth. Was he asking for permission? They were like, no. Like, I love how I'm just like daydreaming about him asking for permission. And it's like, no.
Mrs. Ross, will you DM me and let me know if he did ask for permission? I'll keep it secret. I won't say anything, but I would love to know. I bet he did.
I'll tell her to tell you.
Yeah, please. Anyway, Soph, love you. Thank you for doing this on your holiday weekend. And thank you guys for being there for me and my family. Thank you for everybody that's reached out. We're good. And stay tuned because directly after this, you're going to actually hear my dad talk about Thanksgiving. And it's a very funny / sad 30 minutes. So if you want to stay around, please do, because Bill Bailey always makes it nice. And I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving with your family. New shows all week. And thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys. I am thankful for each and every one of you. So thankful for Ryan. And I can't wait to listen to Bill. And yeah, love ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, hold on.